everybody from Yeshiva University for the varsity finals of the Metropolitan Yeshiva High School Athletic League Championship. Alongside the great Coach Dovid Foreman, I am Norman Jamal, and tonight we have a great one for you. The two best teams in the league all year from start to finish, the DRS Wildcats and the TABC Storm. Dovid, how are you?
How are you, Norman? Great to be back. Last year we had the battle of the Syrians. Now we got the battle of Misha Nichnas Adar. A little bit DRS, TABC. Good games.
It's going to be a great game. You have some of the best players, best Jewish players in the country. TABC has some sharp shooters, but their offense goes all around the big boy, number 34, Eyal Kindlerer. And then, of course, over on DRS, Zvi Saidi, Joe Aaron, the whole starting five. I mean, anyone could shine tonight. I can't wait to see what happens in the next 32 minutes.
Well, these two teams have been the best teams since the beginning of the season. Absolutely. Joe Aaron, an all-world player on DRS. Eyal Kindlerer, like you said. Ultimately, and we'll speak about it throughout the course of the program, throughout the course of our program, it's going to come down to X factors, because Eyal's going to get his, Joe Aaron's going to get his. We'll talk about it a little bit more upstairs about the X factors. Okay, here we are, 15 seconds till the starting lineups and the anthems. We're going to kick it upstairs, and guys, just enjoy this game. It's going to be a great one. For Dovid Foreman, Norman Jamal, everybody from Max Live. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Thank you.
Story with French fries.
The rules of glass utensils.
What's the story with going to a non-kosher sushi restaurant?
I use a dairy blender to make a parve cake to serve at a meat meal.
And we're back from the 50-yard line of Yeshiva University, famed gymnasium. And we are just about getting ready for the starting lineups, the player introductions, and the anthems. Great job Seth Gordon does here. He just, went over some of the rules, the regulations, the decorum expected from both schools. I think everyone's going to get a little excited, a little rowdy, but overall, it usually stays pretty friendly.
I could speak from the middle school experience. This is not an easy job what Seth does. He does this for all the schools with multiple leagues, and he does a great job. It's a little bit of a thankless job, but ultimately, look at what we got here. We got a packed house. We got a great game ahead of us. And, testament to Seth and all he does for all these kids in all these schools.
You know what's funny, Dovid? They used to play these championship games back in the day in Madison Square Garden and the Meadowlands, which is so cool for the players. But when you play in a gym like this and it's so packed in, I mean, the fans are right behind the players.
I got to say, I kind of like this experience a little bit better than the Garden. Like you said, it's open. Yeah, I remember in Garden games that either I didn't make, which I never did, but games I remember going to and watching, it was just like you had the fans in the front and then just nothing behind you. It was almost like you went to a Syracuse game in the Carrier Dome and there was like 15 people there. Here you got a packed house, Yeshiva University atmosphere, much better for the fans, much better for the players, I think.
Okay, here's Seth with the starting lineups now. Admissions. Starting lineups are sponsored by the Yeshiva University Office of Admissions. As you start your college journey, make sure you visit us online and check out all the great virtual events and opportunities we have for YU students and how you too can become a Maccabi. And you know what, Dovid? In this day and age, we mentioned it last year, hasn't gotten much better, but when you got to send your kid to a college campus, why not send them to YU where at least you know they'll be with their Jewish brethren?
Absolutely.
Okay, Dovid, I'm feeling the tension in the air now.
Well, this is when they all got the jitters, right?
Yeah.
Little pre-jump jitters. As soon as that ball is thrown up in the air by the refs, everything calms down. The game gets a little bit slower for the kids. They've all been here. They've done this. Most of these programs that have been in this championship, these are big programs who played in big games already. They're used to this. They understand what's at stake. They understand what's involved. So it's just a matter of getting that ball in the air.
Yeah, I tend to think it takes a few minutes for them to calm down, but you never know. You know, one dribble, one shot, one little rebound, and then you realize, okay, this is fine. Regulate the heartbeat to its normal levels. Both these teams have played a bunch of close games this year. Each coach actually told me, we played more close games than I'm comfortable with. There are teams we should have beaten by 20 that we beat by 6 or 8. So DRS only one loss all year. That one by 2 points. TABC only 2 losses all year. 2 points and 4 points, so it's tough to beat these teams.
Both these teams were the preseason favorites to get here. Both teams were expected to be here. Both teams are here. They both, I think they played in the Memphis tournament. I believe DRS won the game by 1. That seems like eons ago.
Yes, yes,
okay?
It is. Amazing how many different tournaments there are throughout the year now. And Memphis is a big one, and it's an important one because it's where everyone's starting off. But here's where it all basically finishes. Besides for Sarachek, this is sort of the end of the line. And you're looking at these 2 seniors at half court. It's their last game in Yeshiva League basketball, and one of them's going to be the victor, and one of them's not, and it's almost sad. You almost want both of them to win. TABC wins the tip.
So DRS it looks like they're starting out a man, but I know Moshe Cohn loves to play a matchup zone.
And look at that, a turnover already is Joe Aaron. Good look, but off the backboard. Rebound goes to Ben-Sion Kaiser. Here comes Yona Mandel, the point guard. Down low to Akiva Borgen. Borgen goes in. He's blocked by Saidi.
Saidi comes from a great family. He's got a younger brother in JV who's all world. He's got an uncle who's got a great basketball player, and this kid also, Sahidi's a great ball player also.
Spodak took it in. Offensive rebound. Second chance for DRS. Michael Solomon unable to convert.
Norman, they're the jitters, Norman.
That's the jitter. That's a 3-footer for Michael Solomon. He hits that all day long, but you know, the arm gets a little tight, it gets a little wiggly, it gets a little tight, something on the other. It's Dovid Sachs.
Big shot for Dovid Sachs. Great spot-up shooter. Always important for the shooter to hit their first shot. Dovid Sachs comes away with it. Looks like TBC's going man-to-man here.
Okay, the drive. Oh, a block. Beautiful defense by TABC there. Here's Kindler, his first attempt. The finger roll, no good. Fight for the rebound. And it's going to go to DRS.
Listen, on the TABC side, you got Eyal Kindler, who's going to get his, a great player. Joe Aaron on the DRS side. You're going to have to look out for some X factors out here we're going to talk about. Solomon on the defensive end for DRS. Adir Saknovitz on the shooting side, a great 3-point shooter.
Wow, Saidi, a long 3.
Looks like they're not confused like we had a little bit last year. We got the 3 lines out on the court again, remember.
W, when you shoot 3 feet behind all of them, there's no confusion. Okay, so no jitters for the deep ball, that's for sure. We had a couple of missed layups on each end, but 2 3-pointers, no problem. Here's Mandel thinking about it, going right then left. Oh, goes baseline, kicks it out. Nice pass. The layup inside, no good. Rebound, Saidi.
As I mentioned, DRS does a really nice job in their matchup 3-2. He extends it to a 1-2-2. And they did a really nice job on that switch there with Kindler. If you notice, they barked out to get some switchbacks off that screen.
Here's Spodak on the left side with his right hand. It's good.
Spodak, a junior, showing no jitters, huh?
Sometimes it's better to be young. Blissfully unaware sometimes. Here's Kindler in front of the DRS bench. I thought he was thinking about spotting up right there.
Matchup zones sometimes do confuse coaches. Listen, these coaches, nothing's confusing these guys, but you know, it kind of looks like a man, so you might be running all your man sets, but in reality, it's a zone.
3 from the corner, offensive rebound, we think, no. And I like that the ref didn't call the whistle over there, Dovid. We always say, don't interfere in the game. It was a non-consequential foul over there, and they let it go.
Norman, our first championship with the shot clock, right?
Oh, that's right. We didn't have that last year. 35-second shot clock. I'll tell you what, DRS, they shoot like right away usually. It's Kindler, no good. He is 0 for 3 from the field.
Yeah, I mean, usually if Eyal gets that kind of position that down low, you're in trouble. Just missed that shot. DRS cannot afford to have him get those shots on a regular basis. He's going to make them. He looks like he came up a little lame on that. Maybe tweaked his ankle on the way down, not sure.
Such a good kid. I had the pleasure of actually walking in the entrance tonight with him. Here's Saidi, rattles against the backboard, and it's good. He's got 5 points. DRS up 7-3 like a football game.
7-3, Joe Aaron hasn't scored, but is facilitating on everything. This just shows the depth and the talent on the DRS level.
We have a referee timeout, an official timeout. Something going on the southern gate. Looks like the fire exit was open.
I don't know. Solomon just ran out there. Is that someone throwing up and then coming back? A lot of times that happens. I've seen it many times. Just get it out.
Seems to be a
drink some water, throw up, and then come right back on the court.
Yeah, the DRS Rebbe just called for water and he ran out.
Yeah, but he's got to sit out of play though.
100%. They got to get someone in and keep this game going. It looks like they do. I can't tell who just came in the game though. Oh, it's Bennett. It's Bennett. Hit that foul shot at the end of the Mag and David game. Okay, here's TABC backing in. Little one-on-one action, turnaround, fade away. Little Patrick Ewing type of move over there.
Listen, TABC's getting their shots right now. They're just not falling. If you're Oz, you're okay with that. You don't want to get it too out of hand. Drags the back foot. Yeshiva leagues, we talk about this all the time. They love to call the travel, and they love to call the offensive foul. So when kids are trying to screen, we try to tell the kids all the time, wait for the screen. Refs will call the offensive foul all the time.
I may be way off, but I think Saidi was distracted by the rush of fans that just happened to be walking under the basket during the play over there. Benzion Kaiser, top of the key. Here's Dovid Sachs. He has all the points for TABC. Up top to Mandel. Dribbling between his legs and behind his back. Gives it up to Kindler, curling around. The turnaround misses another offensive rebound by Kaiser. The 3 by Mandel, no good. We're going to get a third
Benzion
opportunity.
Kaiser is a guy who does everything right on the court and nothing fancy. 2 offensive rebounds already. He is an X factor for the TABC team. Faber would be also with shooting 3s. We spoke about the DRS guys already. Again, Eyal and Mandel are going to get their points. But we're talking about Benzion Kaiser. He's going to screen for you. He'll get offensive rebounds. He'll get defensive rebounds. He'll play great defense as he's going up against Joe Aaron, one of the best players, if not the best player in the league.
I love how Kindler was still calling for the ball. Not bothered that he missed a couple of easy ones so far. Still wants to be
good timeout, Oz.
The main factor. I think so, yeah. Gets Bennett with that reverse layup. And we have a flying start for DRS, 9-3 DRS.
Key is to get off to a quick start in any of these games. Keep those kids and those Misha Nichnas Adar chants at bay with either side here. These are the two of the premier Misha Nichnas Adar chanting schools here. So with DRS on the quick 9-3 burst here, your TABC team TABC fans a little bit quiet. But again, like I said, your eyes, the shots are there. They're just not falling. You just don't want to get this too out of hand. So at 9-3, he's already called a timeout.
Yes, it's all mental. Like, what's the difference between 9 and 10? But you don't want to fall behind double digits. Because just for the mental aspect of the kids, they're looking up. Can we come back? Of course you can come back. Both teams have come back from bigger leads than this all season long. It's no big deal. I do like that Kindler was vociferously calling for the ball, even though he missed 4 or 5 shots already.
Norman, that's a great word.
I put my thesaurus.
On the TABC side, here's Jonathan Faber. So we spoke about this. This kid is a lights-out shooter. He is one of the X factors for TABC. Watch him on the outside. Again, if you notice, TABC extends this 3-2 matchup zone into a 1-2-2, and you'll notice they're pointing on any switch, who gets the cutter on switches. So it's man-to-man up until a certain point, and then the zone picks up again. So it's somewhat confusing. I don't want to call it a junk defense per se, but it's somewhat confusing for offensive teams.
Here's Faber to Sachs. Sachs calling for a screen. Kinderlehrer provides it, but Sachs loses the ball. Joe Aaron all alone.
I love that he didn't throw it down. Just put the ball in the basket. Celebrate after the game.
I saw him throw down a couple of them in warm-ups, by the way. He's got no problem dunking that ball, I'll tell you that. That's the first foul of the game, Dub, on Gabby Spodek.
Yeah, TABC's got to settle down here a little bit. Eyal's getting his shots, just not falling. That's okay. Run your sets, knock down your shots, play defense on the other end. I know it sounds very simple up here, but that's really all it is. We'll talk about number 13 for a second on TABC now.
Akiva Borgen.
Akiva Borgen is a kid who was a swimmer growing up, loved basketball, with the whole family loved swimming, and just really begged his family to let him play a little bit more basketball outside of the school sports, and has really been probably one of the best juniors in the league, if not the best junior.
Faber way off on that three. And now we have a long pass, a touchdown to Aaron. Nice move, he's fouled, and he'll go to the line for two. Foul was on Faber, I believe. Yes.
Not very poor transition defense there. Not a staple of Oz, meaning Oz usually coaches better transition defense. I wonder if they have to stop the shot clock at some point here. It's still running.
There it goes.
But not a really good job there, the TABC defense getting back. So, the shot goes up, Joe Aaron leaks out. Easy transition play where your defense is a little bit out of whack.
The pace of this game so far is in DRS's favor. I noticed in the scores throughout the year, TABC a little bit of a lower scoring team. Although they've won 12 of their 14 games, they like to be in the 40s and 50s. Faber for three, no good. Rebound by Saidi.
Oz is very good about that. Off free throws, he'll get a guy down in the corner. They'll dribble, drive it, and pitch to the corner for a shot.
Spodek, long, was that a three, W?
Yes.
I got confused by the lines now.
Good spacing by TABC there.
Dovid Sachs, that looked perfect, but it's just short. And now look at
Beautiful
DRS again on
bounce
the
pass.
run.
Beautiful bounce pass by Gaby Spodek. Interesting timeout by DRS. Okay.
14-3, that is very interesting. I was like, there's no way TABC called another timeout. Not going to use two of them in the course of a minute, but actually it was Moshe Cohen calling the timeout. I guess he wants to really extend as much as he can the final 1:16 of this opening quarter.
Yeah, Moshe Cohen in year 2 of the coaching varsity, came up from JV. Just an excellent coach. Probably the best dressed coach in the league, bar none.
I don't know if you've seen Zvi Goldberg lately. I mean, Zvi's got multiple tones on his sweaters every game, matches his shoes with his yarmulke.
Moshe Cohen knows what he's doing. He coached on the JV for a long time in middle school in Hafter, and then DRS JV. Got the opportunity finally a couple years ago on DRS, and here we are in the championship game on his second year.
And what's good about this team for him is that he moved up from JV to varsity with this team.
Yeah.
So there are seniors like Joe Aaron, Zvi Saidi. He's coached them 4 years in a row. A coach can't know his players any better than that.
We speak about that last year with Flatbush and Magan. We're talking about, programs. And it is important, even in the Yeshiva League here.
DRS able to penetrate again. Nice move by Bennett, unable to make it stop, but DRS able to run right over TABC.
Norman, you get a bucket here, and it could be an 8 or 9 point game with TBC shooting as poorly as they have. You're okay.
Faber gets blocked, and Kinderlehrer has not touched the ball in the last 3 possessions. 14-3, only Dovid Sachs' three-pointer standing up for TABC. They trail by 11. Here's Kinderlehrer. Double team goes in, no good. Rebound by Bennett. 26 seconds. They can hold for one here, Dub.
Yeah, good discipline by Eyal. A lot of times you miss a layup, you reach a foul, you get a foul 90 feet away from the basket. Good discipline just to get back on defense.
That's a great call. I've seen that a million times. You're right.
Frustrates the coach.
Yeah.
Frustrates the coach to no end. TBC switching to his zone, actually a 3-2. Nice move by Oz here. Switch up things up here.
Saidi the long three. Offensive rebound. Saidi his own rebound. Puts it in at the buzzer. And DRS leads 16-3.
Looks like Mandel tried to run without the ball before he got the rebound as opposed to securing the rebound and getting out on the fast break. So we were talking about cutting into an 8 or 9 point lead. It's now a 13 point lead.
How big is the opening minutes of this second quarter? I mean, W, if you're if you're Coach Oz Cross, what are you possibly telling your boys right now? They've only hit one shot.
Saying, listen, we got here because we could play basketball. We're missing layups, we're missing shots, but we're not missing bad shots. We're not missing, we're not, I mean, you know, you could say missing a layup is a bad shot. It's not. It's a good shot. You're missing it. It's contested layups. Do what got you here. Continue doing what got you here, and you know, play better defense and play better. You know, make sure you rebound the ball a little bit better. Oz did go to one adjustment. He did go off the man to a zone, to a 3-2 zone. Give DRS a little bit more of a different look. So we'll see if that translates and that continues into the second half. Oz might push something here off a basket right away in terms of a press. Try to show DRS a little bit something different as well. But right now, this game has been all DRS. Moshe Cohen has his team ready and prepared.
The big boys for DRS, Zevi Zaidi has 7 points, had that opening 3, and then 2 other buckets, including the one at the buzzer. Joe Aaron, 5 points, 1 for 2 from the line. Actually, the whole game is 1 for 2 from the line. So, very quick-paced game.
You love that as a fan. You love it that there's no ticky-tack fouls and they're letting them play. You know, you love that. We got a leak here, Norman, or what do we got?
It seems like something's going on. No, it looks like there's a backboard issue where one of the Zebras is trying to use a mop to push in a piece of metal.
These guys are multi-talented, these Zebras.
But I like to see that because, you know, these things happen when you're in Hillel or when you're in or Israel, wherever you are. Good to see it happens in Yeshiva University also. A little maintenance in the middle of a championship game.
Thanks for mentioning Or Yisrael. A shout out to my boys who I hopefully are watching. It was a wonderful year in terms of me coaching for those guys. I had a great time coaching them.
Obviously, Mickey inbounds to Zevi Zaidi, kicks it out. Aaron totally defended, takes the 3 anyway. Kinderlehr goes through 2 guys to get that rebound. Here's Mandel, goes across the court diagonally, rebound Aaron.
So far, nice job by TABC with the 3-2. They didn't get much off the two last possessions to end the half. They did get the bucket off the offensive rebound. And then this first one, they defended it pretty well, so let's see if TBC sticks to it.
Aaron just faked the pass, faked everybody out, including me. Had an open look, and good defense by Mandel, throwing it off the leg of Michael Solomon.
So we spoke about it in the beginning, Adir Saknovitz, excellent shooter on the DRS side, one of the X factors we talked about. The other one being Solomon, who comes from a long line of great basketball players on the DRS side. This guy is a all-world defender, and he's got the matchup for Eyal. So far, doing a great job.
Here's Saknowitz. You just mentioned his name. Goes in and out.
I mean, Norman,
Kinderlehr.
3/4 of the way down. It couldn't have been better timing, Norman.
You almost could give him the points. Kinderlehr, offensive foul.
Eyal lowered his shoulder at the last time. He had everything going. He had momentum going his way. Just at the last second. We tell this to kids all the time. Sometimes kids look for contact too much. Here we spoke about the press, and here's TABC doing a little different. Play through the contact. Don't look for the contact. Ultimately, you look for the contact, you're going to get charged for the offensive foul.
Eyal talking to the referee about that call. He's not happy. But
TBC going to a 1-2-2-3. Ooh, it looked like he walked and got away with it. A 1-2-2-3 quarter court press.
Michael Solomon got tackled, hits the bucket anyway. No call. I mean, that was almost a full, a leap over Solomon.
I like the try by TABC here.
And a foul.
Looks like Eyal got away with a walk there. I like what TABC did, show something different, but DRS is just, they're just showing their talent and their depth and everything. They're breaking the press. They're doing whatever they can. They're doing what they want at will, basically. Eyal's got to knock down these free throws. Stop the bleeding.
Okay, he's finally on the board.
That's it, break the ice a little bit. Sometimes you get the nerves and everything, even though I said no nerves, you said nerves, so you were right maybe. But sometimes the free throws calms things down, breaks the ice, lets you get reset a little bit. You go here, knock down 2 free throws, and play defense on the other end.
Dovid, we were both right. I was right for TABC, you were right for DRS, who's showing no signs of nerves whatsoever. Saidi bringing it up, picks up his dribble to Saknowitz. Saknowitz down low, good pass to Yitz Bennett. Off someone's foot, and it's going to stay with DRS.
DRS is doing a very nice job off this 3-2. Posts and corners are going to be open, and they do a nice job flashing opposite to the high post where the ball is going to be open, and then play off of that post touch, where you can kick it to the corner or an easy jumper off in the post.
Spodek checks back in. Meanwhile, Aaron between his legs makes a double team, loses the ball. Spodek recovers.
DRS is a step quicker on everything, every 50-50.
Yeah, Dovid, they reset the shot clock inappropriately there.
Well, you know, everyone wants the shot clock, but you got to get the operator to operate it correctly.
That's
it's very
right.
difficult.
But you know what it is, on a loose ball like that, the first thing you do is look up at the shot clock. We've been trained this year. How much does he have left? And everyone saw it go to 35. Coach Oz was up in arms.
35, I think, is perfect. It really didn't have much of an impact on the game, but it still allows the game not to be held up or slowed down, if you will. Where the 35 seconds is still not rushing everyone. You really, really very rarely get a 35-second shot clock. 30 seconds would have been much more of an adjustment, I think. So I think 35 is good.
I agree. I was at a tournament earlier this year in Montreal that had a 24-second shot clock. It had a major factor on the game. I mean, the kids really couldn't really adjust. Here's Spodek. That's way too easy if you're TABC. That's a nice, easy layup for Gandhi Spodek. He has 4 points now.
Way too easy.
Okay, Dovid Sachs looking for Faber.
Don't go away from what got you here. Still feed Eyal. Work off that. Exactly.
There's Faber for three, just short. He did a little stutter bunny hop before he took that three. Here's Aaron, he's so fast.
Joe, just to get around that potentially offensive foul is just an incredible athletic move by Joe Aaron.
Yitz Bennett for three, looked good, back iron, rebound Dovid Sachs.
TBC looks a step slow right now.
20-5.
Looks like a horns down set from what I saw them put their hands up. So they go to the two posts here, you have Sachs with the back screen.
Oh, they had him a little earlier. They get it to him now. Kinderlair. He's saying he got pushed.
He got pushed. He got away with a walk. Something was missed.
Here's Spodek. Nice fake by Spodek. Fake left, went right. What a play, Aaron. And one, Joe Aaron. What an offensive play by DRS.
Right now, DRS seems to be getting to the basket at will, imposing their strength, doing what they want, running whatever set they want. DRS is running their sets. They're just, the better defense right now, and they're just missing the open shots. 22-5.
Dovid Sachs comes out of the game. Checking in is number 13, Akiva Borgen.
And again, like we had last year, it's 5 team fouls per quarter is 2 shots.
A foul on DRS on the rebound, it seems. I'm not sure on who. Player number 30, the scoreboard says it's Benzion Kaiser.
So Oz calling another timeout. We've got to settle his troops down. Try to tell them what to do. Listen, Norman, it's 22-5. There's 4.5 minutes left. If you're TABC, obviously, you've got to get this game to within single digits going into the half right now. If you could somehow just chip away possession by possession. There's no 16-point, shot on the court. There's no layup that's going to give you 8 points. It's 2 or 3 points per possession. It's defensive stops on the other end, and it's limiting the DRS team to not only a defensive stop, but a complete possession where it's no offensive rebounds, no second chance points. We talk about with kids all the time. The complete defensive possession is not just a stop, but it's the rebound as well. So right now, TABC's got to make sure it's possession by possession and continue playing strong defense, limiting the second chance points.
TABC has to get number 0, Yona Mandel, more involved in this game. Famously, a couple of years ago at the JV level, he went on a personal 8-0 Reggie Miller type of run in the championship game. He has no points and barely a shot that I remember so far, so they have to get him a little bit more involved. You could still run it through Kinderlarer, but he only has those 2 foul shots so far.
You run it through Kinderlarer, you let him go one-on-one. If they collapse again in their matchup zone, you have kids who can knock down shots. Mandel, Borgen, Kaiser, you have plenty of offensive power on the court. Again, possession by possession, one possession at a time.
Kinderlarer guarded by Bennett. Great defense, but a better shot. Eyal Kinderlarer. That's about having position. Once you get the ball over there, more times than not, he's going to get it in.
Oz goes to a 2-3 here, and he extends his 2-3 up, you'll notice, with the point.
Oh,
And
my God.
You cannot allow that on the bottom of the 2-3. Beautiful find by Joe Aaron.
He throws it faster than Randy Johnson. I mean, it was a complete fastball thrown to Zevi. Backdoor cut over there. Here's Faber.
Great
going
defense.
in baseline, and it's deflected by Yitz Bennett. Not mentioning Yitz Bennett enough for the job he's doing defensively. He's the main assignment on Kinderlehrer, but he also seems to be everywhere, rebounding, deflecting.
Was Solomon, I mean, I guess either he's dehydrated or was he in foul trouble? I know he went out.
No foul trouble.
Nice job by Borgen running down that potential turnover.
Solomon only has that one foul, so he's not in foul trouble. But we did see him run out of that fire exit, so hopefully he's feeling okay. A foul from behind by Saidi.
Very nice stat where they flash Kinderlehrer to the top, and then what they do is they almost use him as bait, where he then vacates the spot so Borgen has one-on-one. They call that play open, I believe, where they have just they have spacing on the right-hand side where Borgen can do his job. And again, if you collapse on that, you kick it to the outside shot.
Coach Robert Honig just called the other 4 members of TABC, had a little mini huddle. That's called stealing a timeout. We're going to let it go.
Because right now they're getting their points on free throws.
Yeah, they're 4 for 4 from the line. DRS only 1 for 3. 24-9, 15-point game. Here's Spodek with his right. Gives it to Bennett down low. Bennett misses the layup.
DRS is doing a really good job getting behind the 2-3 zone. That's twice in a row. So TABC's got to be a little bit more prepared for that and a little bit more aware of that.
Okay, Faber coming off a pick to the top.
If you
Couldn't
notice on
get
that
it.
matchup, beautiful switch on the matchup where they cut off that cut.
Kinderlehrer lowered his shoulder there, no call.
I'd almost like to see Eyal just go straight up and no more spins. He's almost spinning himself out of control.
Yeah.
I know that's his game, and I know he usually hits it, but he's almost confusing himself, and they're almost prepared for it, DRS, as opposed to just him going straight up with no spins.
You might get the defender spinning like a dreidel if you just go straight up, you're right. Okay, oh, nice dribbling behind his back. Bennett gives him space, and it's good.
Nice job by Akiva creating space off the hesitation dribble.
Akiva Borgen, a little 4-0 mini run just by himself. It's 24-11, 13-point game.
So 13 points. You got to get this to single digits again behind the zone.
Too easy.
What they're doing on the 2-3 zone is they lift the zone up on the 2-3, sort of like a Syracuse 2-3. DRS is well prepared for that and just hitting the short corner every time. Guy running baseline or short corner behind it.
Oh, blocked by Spodek from behind. That was Borgen taking it to the hole. Here's Saidi. He's going to keep it himself. Off the back rim. Rebound Aaron. And he's fouled. Let's see who this one is on.
If you see Oz going over to Ben Kaiser right now, telling him 3 times in a row they're getting behind you, he's got to be more aware of that, which that means, okay, it's not like he's not doing his job. Right now, Ben Kaiser is in a violation spot. Let's see if they call that as he gets the ball. The ref is kind enough to tell him that. But what that means is the guard up on the 2-3 has to extend out farther for the 3-point shot also. So it's not so simple as Ben Sion comes out and Dovid Sachs back in.
Yeah, Ben Sion has 2 fouls, so you don't want to get him the third in the final 2 minutes, but you're down 15 as well. Dovid Sachs did hit that 3 earlier in this game, the opening bell. Aaron rattles in the second one. He's got 8 points. Here's Sachs. 16-point lead for DRS. Kinderlehrer.
Yeah, we speak about it every time down. It's a matchup zone, so it's not man-to-man. The spacing has to be a little bit better by TABC.
Borgen picks up his dribble. Here's Mandel.
Mandel looks at the shot clock. Nice job. Very wise. Very smart.
Listen, they're going to need him if they want to get back in this game. Yona Mandel has to be a factor offensively for TABC to battle back. It's a 14-point game, 1.5 minutes left in this first half here at Yeshiva University. And Saidi for 3, off the mark. Mandel had the rebound
Yeah,
in
we
his
talked
hands.
about the perfect possessions. You got to limit the second chance points. Killer. So TABC made the adjustment where they put Borgen and Mandel down on the 2-3, and Dovid Sachs, who subbed in for Kaiser, is now up on the 2-3, which hopefully now limits the short corner baseline touch. But second chance points are killers.
Second chance, and he burned them with the 3 ball. Saidi missed the first 3, and TABC had that rebound also, not just a second chance, it was in his hands. Here's Kinderlair, picks up his dribble, it's Faber in the corner. Mandel, top of the key to Sachs.
TABC looking a little hesitant on these last couple of possessions.
Bounce pass to Kinderlair, he's fouled and won! Eyal Kinderlair.
Norman, he didn't look for contact, and he got the call, and he finished. Don't look for contact, play through your contact.
He's such a big boy. He's wearing number 34. An homage to me, of course, Dovid. You know that. 30-15. Kinderlair will just get 1, and it's good. He's got 7 points now, 3 for 3 from the line.
Okay, Kaiser back in for Sachs. So let's see if they go back with. Okay, so they keep Kaiser up. I know they went man-to-man here.
Saidi being guarded. Oh, yes, it is a man-to-man. Interesting. Is this the first time they've gone to a man, Dovid?
They started it, and then they went back. They went to a 3-2 for a very short period of time, and then 2-3. But DRS was really hurting them on the 2-3, so back to a man.
Nice defense by Akiva Borgen there. He swiped the ball away. 15 on the shot clock, 16 on the shot clock, 21 on the game clock.
Feels like this game is flying. Probably not for TABC, but it certainly feels like it's flying. Right now, they're on pace to score 60 points. That's a lot for an Oz, defensive team. So, see if adjustments are made in the second half.
Yeah, the pace of this game is an advantage for DRS. I don't know if TABC can stay with DRS's offense. They need to slow it down a little bit, and they need to score and have an opportunity like here, and they do. That's a big bucket by Akiva Borgen. Oh.
All right, so we didn't quite, sorry, Norman, we didn't quite get it to single digits, but 12 points, a little bit better than the 16 they had it at, so they cut into it a little bit. Would have liked to see it at 10 or 9, but a little bit better the last 2 or 3 minutes in the second quarter.
Yeah, a game that was a complete blowout at the end of the first quarter. TABC manages to score 15 points in that second quarter. 7 by Eyal Kinderlair, he had none in the first. 6 by Akiva Borgen, he had none in the first. And 2 by Yona Mandel, he had none in the first. So all 15 points being scored by players that were shut out in that first quarter. On the other hand, actually TABC won that second quarter 15-14, Dovid.
Story with French fries.
Rules of glass utensils.
What's the story with going to a non-kosher sushi restaurant?
I use a dairy blender to make a parve cake to serve at a meat meal.
story with French fries?
Pools, glass utensils.
What's the story with going to a non-kosher sushi restaurant?
I use a dairy blender to make a parve cake to serve at a meat meal.
Story with French fries.
Pools, glass utensils.
What's the story with going to a non-kosher sushi restaurant?
I use a dairy blender to make a parve cake to serve at a meat meal.
Story with French fries.
Pools, glass utensils.
What's the story with going to a non-kosher sushi restaurant?
I use a dairy blender to make a parve cake to serve at a meat meal.
Story with French fries.
Pools, glass utensils.
What's the story with going to a non-kosher sushi restaurant?
I use a dairy blender to make a parve cake to serve at a meat meal.
And we are back from the famed Yeshiva University Gymnasium live for the second half, the championship game between the DRS Wildcats and the TABC Storm. So far, the Wildcat not affected by the stormy weather. First quarter was all DRS, 16-3. Second quarter, a little mini victory by TABC. They outscored DRS 15-14. 11 of those points in the final 4 minutes of that quarter. So if you're going by eighths, Dovey, if you're going by eighths, that fourth eighth was a winner for TABC, but they're only down 12 right now. They're only down 12. If they have a big third quarter, the way my old coach Joel Rishny used to always say, games are won in the third quarter. If you could get this to 6 points or so entering the fourth, it's a toss-up.
Well, that's a big if, the way the first half's been going. But, I mean, if you look at these stats right now, TABC shooting 23% from the field, TABC shooting 14% from behind the three. Those are just stats that can't continue. At one point, I think TABC from the floor was 1 for 15, and you're not talking about mid-range to three-point shots. You're talking about gimmies.
That's the thing, yeah. Kinderlehrer was 2 for 9 in that half. Started off rough. So tough to see it when you're watching him his whole career. But it's the championship game of his senior year. All that's behind him. He's down 12 at halftime. He could change the script right now, the next 16 minutes of game time. There he is, the big man, number 34 on TABC. He's out there with Dovid Sachs, Yona Mandel. Michael.
Before we start, I want to give a shout out to some of my team who I had a privilege of practicing with today. Lily Schwabel, Olivia Pines, Hannah Gervis, Sydney Brenner, Molly Pasternak.
That's a turnover by TABC, I believe. Yes, it is. Wow, not the way they wanted. No, they're going to give the ball to TABC. I think that's a bad call, Dovid. They're going to talk about it.
They're going to talk about it. And my last one is Paige Snell. Sorry.
Dovid, that name Schwabel sounds very familiar from the middle school championships that I did. It's Sophia, yeah.
Well, yes, there was a Kayla Schwabel and her sister Lily, who I coached. Yes. So good. All right. So TABC, a big possession here at TABC. It results in a turnover.
Yeah,
Let's see what DRS can do with it.
The refs did reverse that call. Here's Saidi, the step-back jumper off the rim. Fight for the rebound. Aaron tipped it up to Spodek. Spodek gets fouled by... Oh, it wasn't on Sachs. I thought it was on Sachs. It's actually... Who'd they call it on? Looks like they called it on Borgen. Okay, inbound, Aaron with the volleyball tip to Saidi on that inbound. Spodek. Saidi was wide open. The pump goes in off the rim. That's a fortunate miss if you're TABC. They get a chance to bring the ball up now. Nice move. Daylight misses the layup. Kinderlehrer. And they're going to call him for going over the top. Kinderlehrer came swooping in over there. It seemed like the right call, but it seemed a little bit delayed, which just annoys the coaches sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes the refs wait to see who gains possession, which kind of infuriates the coaches and the fans.
Saidi to Solomon, gives it up to Spodek. Spodek takes the pick. Slomanicki was wide open off that pick, but instead it goes the other way to Saidi. Joe Aaron. He's so quick, steps back. Solomon, DRS looking to reset. Here's Saidi, 7 on the shot clock. Oh, he's hit, no call, and Kinderlehrer gets the jump ball.
Got away with one there.
Yeah, here's Dovid Sachs looking to push. Kinderlehrer calling for it. Coach Oz Cross calling a set play over here. The roll around.
DRS does such a good job off the dribble handoff switch.
Yes, Saidi's all right on him, not giving him an inch until there. Nice jumper. And Dovid Sachs had a chance at the rebound after Akiva Borgen missed that jumper. TABC had 2 good looks so far in this half, unable to make them full. They can ill afford that as they trail by 12, 6:17 left in this third quarter. Spodek wearing the red yarmulke to Solomon. Bounce pass to Spodek. Picks it up back to Solomon. Slomanicki. Here's Joe Aaron.
Oh, get away. No, he didn't get away with one.
He almost did.
The hop of the shuffle. If you guys all remember in the semifinal game, Joe Aaron, where he accepted the high ball screen all game against Magan, rejected it, went the other way for the finish with the Euro reverse for a beautiful game-ending, game-winning layup against Magan to send them into this game right here.
And guess what, Dovid? That was all instinct. That was not a set play. I spoke to Joe Aaron before the game. I spoke to Coach Moshe Cohen on the phone last night. He told me the play was a pick and roll like they've been doing all game.
It's all a read. It's the most simple play in basketball, yet the most effective. And what great players do is they read how the defense is playing. Are they hedging the screen? Are they jamming the screen? Are they icing the screen? And then off that, the player makes the read and the person sending the screen. So that's what makes great basketball players. Set play off the inbound here.
No, he banked it from the side. That went off the backboard, believe it or not. It grazed it, and that's a 3-ball. I saw it graze. William, the son of Dubby, telling me I'm wrong, but I think it grazed that backboard. Here's Spodek, and it's a travel. 9-point game, and TABC will get the ball. And TABC holding DRS scoreless in this third quarter, just 2.5 minutes in.
So we spoke about single digits. Now it's a 9-point game, 5 minutes left. TABC with a little bit of momentum here.
Borgert. Oh, it's good. 7-point game. Akiva Borgin.
Good timeout, Moshe.
7-point game, 5 in a row for the Storm here in the third quarter. 5:07 remaining. And maybe we do have a game ahead of us. The TABC crowd on their feet.
Well, I mean, it was only a matter of time until this became a game. These two teams are just both too good. There's no way this is not going to be a game. And it was just a matter of TABC settling down. You know, big shot by what's his name? Mandel.
Yes,
the
Yona
Mandel off the out of bounds play, which sparked them a little bit. Then they run the horns down set where Kindelera comes and screens across for Borgin. 5 quick points, and there you go. We're down to a 7-point game.
5-0 run here in the third quarter. A couple of turnovers by the Wildcats. They're going to stick with Bennett, Saidi, Aaron, Solomon, and Spodek. TABC late out of the huddle. There's Mandel, Kinderlehrer, Sachs,
So a
Borgin.
very good timeout by Moshe. Let's see how they adjust here off this 5 or 7-0 run by TABC.
And Benzion Kaiser also in the game. Spodek, wide open is Saidi. No good. Fight for the rebound. DRS had the numbers there. 3 fighting for the rebound against 1. They get it. Another second chance for DRS.
Norman, that's exactly right. You saw 3 white jerseys and 1 blue jersey on a defensive rebound. That just cannot happen if you're TABC. Cannot.
They just jumped the route. Benzion Kaiser, if he's called for the foul here, which he is, that's his 3rd. He tried stealing the ball, but didn't play the classic deny type of defense. Footwork was not proper there, and then it gave Aaron position. He did foul him hard enough where he wouldn't get the N1, though. Aaron, 2 for 5 from the line so far. Misses another. DRS scoreless the first 3 minutes and 17 seconds in this second half. Favor coming in for Kaiser, who has the fouls. He's the only one on either side in any sort of foul trouble. Aaron misses another.
Wow.
2 for 7 from the line.
7-point game with a chance to cut it to 4.
Yona Mendel almost dribbled the ball out of bounds just now. I don't know if you saw it. He lost the handle for a second. And again, Dubby, that's just a figure of speech. There's actually no handle on the ball.
Yeah.
Kinderlehrer with the pick. Here's the pick and roll. It's a step back by Borger. He's feeling it, Borgin. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 points.
He elevates very nicely on his jump shot. 5-point game. Norman, we got a game.
Akiva Borgin. Here's Solomon, the turnaround, and finally DRS gets on the board.
Solomon, just a very smart basketball player, uses his body extremely well, both on the offensive and defensive end. Eyal went for the steal, wasn't able to come up with it.
Three from the corner. Yona Mandel, there he is, his second three from the corner. By the way, William Foreman, your son, has corrected me that ball did not bank upon replay. It went so high up I thought it did. Saidi answers back.
What a great move by Zahidi there, going reverse, using the rim to ward off the defender as almost a protection against the defender. Really nice heads-up play.
Dovid, we have a 6-point game here at Yeshiva University. 11 minutes, 20 seconds to go in this one. Kinderlehrer begging for the ball down low, but he's being guarded by Michael Solomon. Here's Morgan. High up, Kinderlehrer, offensive rebound. The putback is good. Eyal Kinderlehrer.
The last second, Solomon looked like he wanted to take the charge. At the last second, he pulled out of that, almost a little weary of the contact, but I thought he was going to stick in there. Too smart of a player to bail out of it like he did.
Spodak kicked it out to Solomon, who got it to Saidi. Saidi drives up the backboard, too strong. Rebound Kinderlehrer, he's taking it himself. It's a 2-on-2. Kinderlehrer goes in, he's blocked. You saw him go away from a potential offensive foul, and it affected him. Solomon down low. Saidi for three. That looked good. Offensive rebound. Fight for it. Loose ball. Stays in bounds. Goes to TABC.
So that chase down was a great play by Zahidi on the chase down, but the play was made by Joe Aaron.
Dovid Sachs just nailed the three in front of his bench and in front of his fans. We have a 1-point game here at Yeshiva University.
A great chase down. The chase down was great by Zahidi, but the defense there by Joe Aaron to slow down Kinderlehrer was what it was all about. TABC 4 of their last 5 from 3. We spoke about in the first half. They were 1 for 15. All of a sudden they couldn't hit in the first half. Now they can't miss in the second half.
Unbelievable. Yona Mandel with 2 of them. Dovid Sachs with that big one way behind the arc. Akiva Borgen has been the spark that this team needed. That end of the first half and the entire third quarter so far. 10 points for Borgen. That's number 13 on TABC. He has really been the spark plug. And we have a 1-point game. I can't believe it, actually.
I mean, you could believe it, but you can't believe it because as poorly as TABC was playing, that's how well they're playing in the second half. But it's the same things they were doing. It's just that when the shots fall, you look like a great team. When the shots don't fall, you look like a bad team.
Yes.
But kudos to Oz for keeping them under control, keeping them focused. Telling his team over and over, this is what got us here, let's run it, let's continue, we'll knock down the shots at some point.
And he closed the back door that Saidi was hitting over and over and over again. Saidi.
TABC still in a man-to-man here.
Saidi being guarded by Mandel. 0 guarding 0. Saidi the pull-up jumper, air ball. Bennett bounces it in, and TABC will have a chance to take the lead. Goes to Kinderlehrer, he's pushed. And the call's going to be on number 1, Avi Slomnicki. It's his first.
If you're DRS, at some point you got to get Joe Aaron the ball. He's got to touch the ball more in these possessions than he has been the last couple times, especially when the tight game here. The ball, the offense has to run through him.
Inbounds goes to Sachs. Sachs the floater. No good. Rebound DRS, and Sachs gets called. That's the first foolish foul we saw all game.
Norman, we were a floater away from saying TABC's taking the lead. Can you believe it?
No, I really can't. It was 16-3. That means TABC has scored 30 against 17 for the high-octane offense of the Wildcats.
All right, so Joe Aaron with the ball here. High ball screen. Like we said, let's get him the ball. Let's see what happens off of that.
That was actually more in control than it seemed.
Yes.
He just overshot the layup. He had the open reverse layup. Here's Aaron again, guarded by Kinderlehrer. Foul on Kinderlehrer, and 1.
I really like what DRS did there. You had the reverse layup, he misses it. They get an offensive rebound, and we spoke about that on the TABC side before. DRS gets the offensive rebound this time, and right back to Joe Aaron. You got to get this guy the ball. He's the best player in the league. He's got to touch the ball.
That bucket was so huge. It stops the momentum. It completes a three-point play, and you have, by my unofficial count, 3 fouls on Eyal Kinderlehrer.
Wow, so big play all around.
Here's Mandel, top of the key.
DRS sticking in their matchup zone, which they pretty much run all year. They don't really throw much else at you. Sometimes they'll go man-to-man late in games, but this is a matchup. This is what got them there. This is what they know.
Wow, quick dribbling by Borgen. He's being masked by Saidi. Now he goes right by him. Borgen, it's good!
It looked like he got away with a little bit of a travel, but really nice move. Surprised there was no 5-second count there either.
12 points for Akiva Borgen. Here's Saidi, 2-point game, looking for 5, and there it is. 5-point lead. Zvi Saidi hits a big one.
What an answer. What an answer, Norman.
17 points for Zvi Saidi, his third from behind the three-point line.
So now DRS has to notice what they've been doing with Borgen over here. With the screen across, they got to make the adjustment on the defensive end here.
Sachs from the corner, hit the side of the backboard. That's a Yeshiva University adjustment. The backboard seems to be more in than most of the high school gyms. It comes down from the ceiling instead of from the wall.
We talked about it with the coaches and the players in the beginning of the game. They said, and a lot of the kids said, "Don't worry, we don't have a high arcing shot." I said, "Trust me, that bar will come into that beam will come into play."
Who knows? Only God knows if that ball was destined to go in the hoop or not. 6 seconds left. Aaron. Boom! It's an N1 again for Joe Aaron. He just took back control of this game. Oh my goodness, another N1, second consecutive one with the Zvi Saidi 3, the untraditional one in between.
Norman, great players make great plays. And Joe Aaron, we know about his father, talk about one of the all-time Yeshiva League players, all-time YU players, Dan Aaron. Absolutely an incredible basketball player. His son, at this point, best player in the league, showing exactly why he is, willing his team to victory.
He was quiet for a few minutes in this third quarter, but not at the end. Mandel, the buzzer back iron. Dovid, we have an 8-point game going into the fourth quarter. You would have taken it. You would have signed up for this if you were TABC, but not if I told you it was a 1-point game around 2 minutes ago.
1-point game with a floater to put them up with the lead. Another possession where they hit the side of the beam on a three-pointer to put them up one also. So exactly, excellent point. You would say when that score was 16-3 or when they were 16 down in the first half, you'd take this at any time. At this point, when they cut it to 1 with a chance to go up multiple possessions, at this point, this has got to be a little bit of a heartbreak. Sometimes those deficits are too hard to overcome where you almost have all your energy and effort put into the comeback, and then it just takes the other team to score 1 or 2. It deflates the comeback team. But hey, we got an 8-point game. We got a full fourth quarter of play, and we got 2 great teams, 2 great coaches.
Okay, leading scorers for DRS, Zvi Saidi with 17 points, Joe Aaron with 14, Spodek with 4, Michael Solomon with 4, Yitz Bennett with 4.
And DRS ended that quarter on a 9-2 run.
Yes, it was 34-33, 9-2 run by DRS to end that quarter, and what a big run that was. Joe Aaron basically saying, you came close, you're trying to take this from me, not so fast. 2 of the old-fashioned three-point plays, and Zvi Saidi with that big 3 sandwiched right in between. Moshe wants to play, it looks like. Coach Moshe Cohen, half court.
A great player, I think, from Rambam, and I'm sure I'll get yelled at after the game.
No, I'm going to yell at you now. He played for Hafter.
He
won the championship for Hafter as a sophomore. He played up as a sophomore.
Yeah, he was running out. It looks like he screamed no threes, So let's see if they listen.
Okay, Saidi does listen, misses the layup though. Dovid Sachs takes it after the Eyal Kinderlehrer rebound.
Very nice transition defense by DRS there.
Borgen was feeling it in the third. Behind his back, dribbling through everybody. The jump, back rim, fight for the rebound. It goes to DRS. Here comes Saidi.
I don't love that shot. Once you get into the paint, Akiva, it's okay. You see them collapse on you, it's okay to kick at that point. However, to your point, Norman, he was feeling it a little bit. So, a lot easier for me to say up here, huh?
Aaron inside. Oh, TABC wanted a block. Instead, it's a foul.
That looked like good defense from up here, Norman.
Wow, that's on number 41. Jonathan Faber.
Yeah.
Aaron will go to the line. Okay, Aaron has hit now 4 foul shots in a row after he struggled for a little bit.
Amazing. A 1-point game, and now we're back up to 10 in the blink of an eye.
Aaron's got 15 now.
Just a great response from DRS.
Splits the difference, deflected out of bounds. Sachs will inbound.
Very, very big possession here. I'd like to see TABC get a. Obviously, it's fourth quarter. Any possession is big, but this would be a big possession for TABC.
Okay, Kindlera being guarded by Bennett. He's playing full deny. Doesn't want him even touching the ball. It's a steal. It's a steal, and then it's a foul on TABC. Saidi just pickpocketed that ball right out of Akiva Borgen's hands. And then Borgen forced to foul him.
So it looks like DRS made the adjustment off the Borgen run themselves, where they started applying a little bit more pressure on Akiva Borgen. Now let's see if DRS makes that adjustment off of that adjustment. Games are all about adjustments and runs.
The adjustment off the adjustment. Nice block by Borgen over there. Sachs thought about a touchdown pass, thought better of it. Oh, he's being bodied by Saidi. Sachs takes that contact and runs back out top of the key.
Very nice defense.
Very good man-to-man over here by Saidi. That's textbook. Look at him shuffling his feet over there, all over him.
5 count there.
And look where Kindlera has to take the ball. 20 feet from the basket. He takes it anyway, goes in. No good, but rebound by Faber. Sachs. The penetration, and it's good. There he is, my man, Akiva Borgen.
Really nice job.
14 points for Borgen.
Zevi Samet in the gym, the all-world YU player, of course, made his name at Ashar and then at TABC.
Saidi, oh, what a shot with the left hand, Zvi Saidi. The Zevi Samet shot that was all over social media last week. What a gorgeous shot that was. Yeah. So good. And then they show you behind the scenes. He's learning Gemara after the game. How nice is that? Sachs penetrates the high looper. Kindlera treats it like a pass. And one! Eyal Kindlera was tripping over Slomnicki. I guess that's what the foul is on, right? A foul by the ankles? What is it?
I'm not sure I saw the foul, but Eyal, I was sort of like had my mouth open on that, the way he skied for that rebound. Eyal is a very, very big boy. Just a great basketball player, and he's showing the touch back in the second half, which was missing in the first half for him. A chance to go to the free throw line here and cut this back to a 6-point lead.
He read it before anyone that layup was way, way off by Sachs, and he just crashed the boards over there. We have a 46-40 game.
Great players know where the ball is going to be. They sort of have a good track on the ball. Hedging the ball screens here. Late rotation by TABC allows Eyal to get back.
Oh, Bennett misses the layup. That's a break for TABC. You're right, Dovid. That was poor defense. They got away with it. Mandel to Sachs. Thinks about it. Back to Mandel. The pump pass, and they'll reset. 20 on the shot clock.
Smart play by Mandel to bring it out.
6-point game. Kindlera just hanging out in the corner. 11 on the shot clock. Here's Mandel. Out to Kindlera. 5 on the shot clock. The turnaround spin. What a shot, Eyal Kindlera. We have a 4-point game.
So I'm glad he didn't listen to me about the no spins, but this time he went to the spin and did it. Well, and knocked down the shot.
You weren't asking him to give it up forever. Nice pass by Saidi. I thought he was going up with it. Bennett, no good.
Tremendous defense by TABC as they look to push the ball.
Kindlera looking to push it. Goes through traffic and lost control of his footing. Gets his own rebound. Goes up with it. 2-point game. They won't go away, Dovid. Timeout, DRS. Much needed timeout by Moshe Cohen. TABC has not taken the lead, but they won't go away. Perhaps they led at 3-0, I'm not sure. But if they did, that was their last lead of this game. They've pulled within 1, now they pull within 2. What a game here at Yeshiva.
I mean, Eyal up to 16 points, 4 for 4 from the free throw line. And now imposing his own will. I know this sounds a little strange, but the refs did not notice the timeout quickly enough from Moshe, and he's trying to get it. Moshe probably should have been a little bit more emphatic. So now you get the ball side out as opposed to underneath the basket running the baseline. And also, instead of 35 seconds on the shot clock, you have 27 seconds on the shot clock. Different little things that sometimes add up. But ultimately, a good timeout by TABC. I do really like the way the refs are calling this game, though. They're not a factor, really.
You spoke about great players stepping up in big moments. How about Eyal Kindlerer, shut out in the first quarter, 16 points, 11 rebounds for the senior in this championship game. And that's basically the output from the last 2.5 quarters. The first quarter was a big goose egg. TABC's ability to stay in this game when it seemed like it was going to be a DRS blowout is remarkable.
By the way, TABC's ability to stay in this game twice, right? Cut it to 1, get it back up to 10, and now back to 2. Absolutely remarkable.
You're right, Dovid, because sometimes you get within 1 or you even take a 1-point lead, but you emptied the tank and the other team runs away with it. Credit to TABC for coming back yet again. Aaron, the jumper, nothing but net.
I do like the timeout. I do like they put the ball in Joe Aaron's hands. Smart play by Moshe Cohn, by their coach, who knows what he's doing. You got everything at this point just got to flow through Joe Aaron, and the TABC side, things got to go for Borgen and Kindlerer.
Foul on Aaron, the reach in from behind.
Let's not forget, Norman, Akiva Borgen is a junior, number 13, a junior. He's playing like he's been here for 5 years already, like he's a 5th-year senior.
Akiva Borgen has been the key for TABC in this game. He got them back in this game when it was looking scary.
Absolutely. We don't want to forget our X factors here. Faber still a great three-point shooter, which still could come into play.
Yeah, if he was holding out for a big spurt, now would be the time. 3.5 left in the championship game. Kindlerer for 3! Eyal Kindlerer. Is that a 2, Dovi? That looked like a 3 to me. They only gave him 2 on the scoreboard.
Everyone in this gym all became a ref. Everyone in this gym just became a ref.
Yeah, that's a 3. I knew I wasn't seeing things, but you begin to question yourself sometimes.
The lines confused the refs this time, Norman.
48-47. Dovi, for the viewers, we're playing with the blue line closest to the basket, correct?
Blue line would be the NCAA there, yes. Blue line closest to the basket.
1-point game, 3:15 left.
Beautiful
Aaron.
play. Beautiful play. Absolutely beautiful play. Set play. And get that ball in Joe Aaron's hand. Did Solomon make that pass?
Dovi, I got to be honest. That was an unbelievable pass. I didn't see where it came from because I was looking at the 3 3-point lines. I can't believe how many end ones we've had in this game on both sides. Aaron, he seems to always hit the foul shot when it's after an end one. 51-47.
Great answer.
DRS won't give up the lead no matter how close TABC comes.
Oz frustrated after that play. You cut the game to 1 point. You have the momentum. You got to make these defensive stands. Miscommunication on the switch. You get Joe Aaron on the back door off the high back screen, and just a little bit of a miscommunication on defensive end. Oz sees it. That's what makes him a great coach. Immediately calls the timeout, frustrates him. He'll talk it over with the team now. At this point, 3 more minutes left to go in this game. 4-point game, Norman.
3:05 to be exact for all you Miami fans. That's the area code of Miami, Florida. Just as spring has sprung outside over there. Beautiful day outside. It's about 192 degrees inside over here. Fans just standing up. These two fan bases have been excellent, I got to tell you. Where by the parent section, but the student section going wild. Like Dovi said with the Misha Nikmas Adar. I heard TABC doing a sound that haunted my childhood, which was the tomahawk chop from Atlanta. That tune,
yes.
that tune, and saying TABC Storm somehow.
Norman, let's set this up for everyone listening. 19 points for Eyal, 14 for Borgen, Aaron with 20, Zahidi with 19.
Joe Aaron, yes, the 20 points after that three-point play.
Interesting, though, on the DRS side, the free throws have only come from Joe Aaron. No one else has shot a free throw except Joe Aaron.
That's a great point. Only Joe Aaron, and then a TABC, only Kindler and Borgen.
Very generous 5 seconds there.
Eyal
with excellent position there.
Aaron can't believe it, but I think that was a foul.
Yeah, so Joe Aaron's concerned that the foul's on him. He came over for the screen in the back. The foul was with the body on Solomon, so that's the right call.
And Kindler's like jersey, he almost came all the way up on that. You saw the white of his undershirt as he was taking that shot. Gets it to roll in.
You know, it's interesting, though. Eyal is wearing the white undershirt underneath. The refs let him get away with that now that you just mentioned it to me. Because the color of the undershirt underneath the jersey has to be the primary color of your uniform.
Okay.
I'm actually very surprised they let him get away with that. Interesting.
Dovid, don't tell me we're playing this game under protest. We have a 2-point game with under 3 minutes to go in the finals.
Just good stuff.
Gabby Spodek bringing it up. A loose ball.
There's Ben Sion with the defensive stop.
It's an all-out fumble. Kick ball is called, and it goes to DRS. Mandel doesn't like the call.
What did they call on that? Kick ball.
I called the kick ball.
Wow, TABC had that ball in their possession.
Yeah, DRS, you don't see it that often. They were sloppy with their pass. It was almost like a lazy pass. Not the time for that. 51-49, DRS leads. 2.5 to go in the finals.
And Norman, we got the shot clock. No more holding for 1 here.
5 on that shot clock. Here's Joe Aaron for 3. It's an air ball caught by Kindler.
TABC with a chance to tie or take the lead. Who would have thought?
It's Morgan for the tie.
That's a good call. He walked.
It's a travel.
That's a good call. He dragged his back foot. That is absolutely the right call.
Okay, so, Dovey, what's going on is one ref called a foul, but the other ref called the walk. The walk happened before the foul.
The violation takes the precedent. That's the right call. It's the right call.
Okay, and Dovey's so popular in the crowd that they all ask him for the ruling. He has to explain to the crowd and the viewers.
Matter of fact, the ref who made the foul call looked over and asked for acknowledgement. That's a tough 5 seconds.
Great defense, and it's stolen by TABC, and then a foul on Slovanicki. Meanwhile, Michael Solomon is down. He looks hurt.
Hey, Norman, if you're a TBC fan right now, you're saying the ball never lies.
The ball never lies. That's right.
The ball never lies. So was that a foul on the other side? Well, yeah, they made the defensive stop, and they're back in it.
TABC has possession. There's exactly 2 minutes. So our 2-minute warning. Mandel will inbound. Faber is in the backcourt. Mandel actually coming out, and Dovid Sachs is back in. Sachs with those 2 different three-pointers, one in the first and one in the third.
I'm not certain about that sub right now, not from the Sachs standpoint, but from the Mandel. I think Mandel was giving them a little bit of juice on the defensive end, unless this is defense-offense.
Here's Akiva Morgan, goes up, fight for the rebound. Everyone's hand is on it.
Oh, keeping that alive.
Oh, TABC had it, but had to give it up. Here's Saidi to Aaron. The lefty layup is good. Joe Aaron extends the lead to 4.
Ben Sion tripped over his own teammate. That's what happened there. So he released the ball as he tripped over with his own teammate. So unless this was an offensive-defensive switch with Sachs and Mandel, I'm not exactly 100% certain about that. But what happened is Eyal made a great play in keeping that ball alive. Kaiser gets the ball but ends up tripping over his own teammate, Kindler, who falls fighting for the ball and then loses the ball there. So
what you'd love to see is it's a 2-point game and that rebound. You had 10 guys fighting. It was like hot potato, 10 guys fighting for that one ball, and it seemed to have hit everybody's hand at one point.
The problem is it's very difficult. You try to tell this to the kids all the time. On the defensive end, okay, when you're on the defensive end, you want 4 guys fighting for the basketball and you want 1 guy back on defense. On the offensive end, you want one or two guys fighting for it, and you want to get out in transition offense. The problem here is that TABC had everyone fighting for the ball and had very poor transition defense. So unfortunately, when the ball comes up with DRS, they get an easy layup with Joe Aaron.
1:34 remains in this incredible game. DRS leads by 4. TABC has been within 1 point 2 different occasions in this game.
Norman, Svi Sahidi has 19 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, 3 steals, and a block. Joe with 22 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block.
My goodness, wow.
That's
a career for some of us.
That's D1 stats, Norman.
Borgen dribbling, picks up his dribble. Here's Kinderlehrer. Stutters, turns around, goes up the call. It's a block, and one! Eyal Kinderlehrer!
Norman, they say basketball is a game of inches. They say baseball is a game of inches. Basketball, there, that ref could easily have made the offensive foul call. That is a game of inches and a game of which way you calling that. The block foul, not really sure if that was the correct call or not. Doesn't matter. Eyal's going to the line to make this a 1-point game.
He's got 14 points in this fourth quarter. Now he has 15 in this fourth quarter. We are back to the 1-point game. 1:14 remaining in the championship game.
We have another overtime within us.
Maybe, and again, we get paid by the quarter, so that would be great for us.
Ball's got to stay with Joe Aaron here. The offense has to run through Joe Aaron.
Aaron fell, but he's fouled. And every call is going to get a reaction like that from the crowd.
If you're TABC, that's fine. That's a foul. There's no. That's not a team foul. That doesn't put them at the line. There's no bonus. That's a good foul. Try to make a steal. Maybe you get away with one. He gets called for a travel. No harm there.
And Aaron was ready to burst to the basket. You know, he's got that full head of steam every time he touches the ball. Spodek whistles on the floor. Another foul on the floor, so 2 in around 4 or 5 seconds.
This gym is so loud you can't even hear the whistle. Amazing. So
Dovid
TABC now with
Foreman.
3 team fouls.
Dovid Foreman, Norman Jamal from Yeshiva University on Max Live. For those of you watching at home, if you subscribe to Max Live, you will be alerted every time there's a broadcast, every time there's a game. We have a 1-point game in the championship varsity boys basketball.
Norman, I'm told we have 1.9 thousand viewers right now.
Are you serious? That's unbelievable, Dovey. I mean, with a game like this, how could you not be watching?
Did someone call a timeout, or did they get – what happened?
I thought TABC called a timeout, but DRS stayed on the court. Then DRS –
Oh, foul out. I see. You get 60 seconds. Okay. There's a player on 13 fouled out. Okay, I got it.
13 on TABC?
Yeah.
3-pointer no good. Fight for the rebound.
Great play by Michael Solomon. That kid just knows for the ball, exactly where it's going to be. Lays his body out on the line.
You know what? He was the one that was on the floor earlier. He looked like he was injured. He just gave up more of his body to get that rebound. He'll go to the line for 2.
Norman, so that was Borgen who fouled out.
I know.
That is huge.
Yes, it is. That's
that
why.
Is huge.
When you said number 13 fouled out, I said, are you sure? That's a big loss. And you see Borgen at the end of the bench over there.
Wow, Norman.
Michael Solomon hits the first. He has 5 points, and DRS leads by 2 big points.
This goes in. I expect us to call a timeout here.
Solomon hits both. Huge foul shots.
He does not. Who wants the ball, TABC? Okay.
Zevi Mandel.
He's going to come over. Horns down set, he's calling. So we normally had Borgen up with Kinderlehrer. Now it's Kaiser up with Kinderlehrer on the horn set. They're going to run it off of Eyal.
Okay, Sachs.
Who's stepping up here?
Mandel from the corner. It's good! It's good! We have a tie game!
Yona Mandel is stepping up, folks.
Yona Mandel! We spoke earlier about his heroics at the JV level where he went on a mini 8-0 run by himself. Just now it's a 3 from the corner. We are tied with 29.6 to go.
Norman, if you are DRS, this is absolutely the last shot you are taking. There cannot be any time on the clock for a defensive rebound and for TABC to get a timeout. You're holding the ball for the last play. The play has to go through Joe Aaron. If you're TABC, you're expecting the ball to go through Joe Aaron, but you got to play a little bit. You got to understand the ball is going to go there, and you got to rotate off of whatever Joe Aaron does. Here, Joe Aaron's going to probably get the ball off the inbound and then hold the ball for the last shot. Remember, we got the shot clock here. There's 29.6. There's 35-second shot clock. DRS can have the ball for the last possession. Under no circumstances could DRS allow TABC to touch this ball. It's either DRS wins the game or the game goes into overtime. You cannot foul. There's 2 shots.
So any foul here would be 2 shots, Dovey?
Any foul here is 2 shots.
For both sides?
Both sides are in the bonus.
Dovey, when talking to Moshe Cohen, head coach of DRS, he was telling me, Joe Aaron, yes, he's our guy. He's the one we want taking the shot.
What I would probably do here is get the ball over half court as quickly as possible, then call a timeout again. It doesn't look like they're doing that. I would probably get the ball over and now call another timeout, but he's going to run it here at the end. Okay.
They're trying to get it to Aaron, but he's being guarded. He's being face masked.
Joe Aaron has to touch this ball.
Well, there's only 11 seconds left. He hasn't touched it yet. Spodek gets it to him. Aaron has it. 6 seconds. Aaron dribbling. He falls. He falls. It goes to TABC. 2.5 seconds remain. TABC will get the final shot.
Great job by TABC denying the ball with Joe Aaron long enough for them to not have the play that they wanted to run. TABC here, now what are you calling here? The full court, end of game play here, where you run the jump pass at the free throw line to the guy, the 3-pointer to knock down the shot. Listen,
Dovey, don't forget what you just told me. Both teams in the bonus here. Any foul, even on a flailing shot, on a loose ball, on an inbound, any foul will send TABC to the line.
Here's what I would not be surprised. If TABC, they're a very smart, very well-coached team, puts a player up to screen the guy running the baseline, because if DRS runs into that guy running the screen, that is a offensive foul. That becomes a foul. It might not be a 2-shot foul, actually, off of that. But a lot of times some players like to do that and draw the offensive foul on the other side, but it might not be a shooting foul. So we'll see what Oz has planned here.
Eyal Kindler is having a monster fourth quarter. He's got 15 points in this fourth quarter. They're going to try to get it to him, but there might not be enough time. There might not be the ability.
You cannot run the baseline here. You cannot run the baseline. There's no made basket. TBC cannot run the baseline.
That's why he's on this broadcast.
You want to try to hit the guy on the run. You want to try to hit the guy on the run.
Okay, Mandel being guarded by Saidi. It's a long pass. It goes to Kinderlehrer. Here's the shot for the championship. Airballs it from half court. They got the ball.
He actually got a pretty clean look.
In Kinderlehrer's hands somehow. I don't know how that pass was converted to Kinderlehrer from under the basket to half court without anyone from DRS touching it. Kinderlehrer launched one, and for the second consecutive year, we are going to overtime in the VARSITY Championship.
Norman, in the first quarter, in the second quarter, never in a million years are you thinking overtime. It just shows the grit of the TABC players, of the coaching staff, of how they had them under control here the whole time. Every answer that TABC, every run that TABC had, DRS had an answer for it. It just came down to execution a little bit more on the TABC side down the end. At this point now, we got 4 more minutes. Fouls carry over, and the Borgen foul out with TABC is huge, Norman. Absolutely huge. Who is going to step up? We had Yona Mandel step up in the first possession. Now we got a full quarter, full overtime of 4 minutes for TABC to step up here. They have the players to do it. Yona Mandel, Faber, they got Ben-Sion Kaiser. They have enough people to step up. It's a big loss. Dovid sacks right now. 4 more minutes, fouls carry over.
Dovey, let's talk trends. First quarter to the fourth quarter, DRS scored 16, then 14, then 13, then 12. TABC, on the other hand, 3, 15, 17, 20. TABC is scoring more and more each quarter as the game goes on. DRS scoring less and less. somehow all that adds up to 55-55.
Norman, we got our wish.
TABC wins the tip. 4-minute overtime period. Mandel to Sachs, and he stepped out of bounds. TABC has a knack for turning the ball over immediately in the beginning of quarters.
TABC extended their 3-2 matchup a little bit higher. Zahidi forces the turnover off the errant pass.
Spodek.
Norman, it would be captain obvious to say that this is a big possession, but this is a big possession.
Solomon takes the jumper.
You always want to get that first overtime bucket, and DRS gets it. Solomon, like his brother, mid-range free throw shooter, great shot.
Solomon hit those 2 foul shots towards the very end of the fourth quarter. That was huge, and now he has the first act in the overtime. Over the top to Kindler. They get it to him. No good. He had to adjust on catching the pass, but it's a layup that he hits almost every time. Saidi, one-on-one to Mandel. It's good. Zvi Saidi.
Quick 4 points. If I'm Oz, I might call a timeout here. Quick 4 points. He doesn't. Big possession here, TABC.
59-55. DRS over TABC. Mandel calling for a screen, doesn't get it. Behind his back, guarded by Aaron.
See, right now you're at 17, 16 seconds and you haven't gotten into your set. That's advantage DRS.
You're right, and here's Sachs, kicks it out to Faber. Now there's 8 on the shot clock. Nothing doing for TABC
Looks like
here.
nobody wants it.
Sachs for 3. High archer, and it hits those poles.
It looks like just nobody wanted it on TABC side at that point. Norman, we're being shown here. We got 4,000 views right now.
59-55. 2 minutes, 34 seconds in the first overtime period. The overtimes are 4 minutes long, so it's a sprint. Little shoelace issue by Slomnicki. Hopefully he went with the double knot bunny ears there. I think he did, yes. They're zooming in on his sneaker. Spodek crosses half court.
And let's remember, if you're either team here, both teams are in the double bonus. So anything, well, there is no double bonus. It's next foul is 2 free throws. So you're going to the basket hard. That's a jump ball.
That's a good call.
That's a good call. That's the right call.
We had a good view of that one. Aaron, every time he looks like he's going to pull up for a jumper, but he's still dribbling. He's so fast.
Yeah, but you got to force the action if you're certainly if you're TABC with the double bonus, and with DRS here, you got to get to the free throw line.
And you don't want to fall into the trap of holding.
Here's the problem if you're DRS. You're up 4. You almost sometimes get into this, I'm holding it, and you don't want to.
Jumper from the baseline. It's good by Bennett. Yitz Bennett, 6 points. None bigger than that one.
6-0 run.
6-0 run in overtime.
Great defense by Zahidi on the moving his feet and beating Mandel to the spot.
You know, TABC never took that lead. They tied it up when they needed to. Here's Kindler being guarded by Bennett. The turnaround, no good. Rebound, Joe Aaron.
That's a good look by Eyal. That's a good shot. That's a good set. It just didn't fall. If you notice, they really just...
Oh, what a pass by Aaron. Everyone thought he was shooting it. Fished it off, bounce pass to Yitz Bennett. And DRS 8-0 run here in this quick overtime. Only a minute 20. Mandel for 3. Air balls, and it's saved. It'll stay with TABC.
Denzion guys with the great play. That's why, though, if you're the coach, you got to call the timeout there because you don't want those shots. You still play within yourself. Extend the game, possession by possession. There's no need for the quick threes yet.
This is a must-score possession.
Yes.
You can't come out of here empty. Down 8. Kindler.
Got away with the travel.
Yeah, people wanted steps in the crowd. And DRS 105
You got to foul
remaining.
here, Norman. You got to foul here. DRS looking to ice the game on this possession.
That happened so quickly,
You got to foul TABC here. TABC has to foul.
They're not. They're letting Aaron dribble. He's going to take it. And he turns it over. And now Slomnicki fouled Sachs.
Yeah.
Why?
I'm not sure what Joe Aaron, though, was doing there. I would hold the ball and let them foul. It's an 8-point lead. The clock is your friend. As annoying it is you don't want to stop the clock with 2 or 3 minutes left. You're under 1 minute, an 8-point lead. The clock is your friend. That's you got to just. He recognizes it. You see him shaking his head. He understands.
Yeah,
he comes from too good of a basketball family not to understand.
No, of course, but why'd Slomnicki then almost intentionally foul Dovid Sachs as he was dribbling, give him 2 shots with the clock not moving?
Right. When you're a coach, What do you tell? No fouls, no threes. No fouls, no threes.
All right, Dovid Sachs all alone at the foul
Looks like
line.
they called a breakaway foul on that. They actually called a breakaway foul, which is 2 shots in the ball, which is even worse.
Oh my goodness, you're kidding me.
Well, there's no one on the line, so I'm assuming that's what they called.
He nails both without a problem.
I mean, the only thing worse than that is a 4-point. Well, this
could be a 5-point play.
5-point play. I'm not sure what he was doing, what he was thinking.
It was a puzzling foul, but they called a breakaway foul. TABC will get the ball down 6. What a gift that was delivered to TABC just now.
TABC, if I am TABC, Norman, I know you're thinking 3, cut this to 1 possession. You got to go for a quick 2, extend the game and foul and put them on the free throw line.
Here's the 3 from the corner. He's fouled on the 3.
They got lucky on that. TABC probably should have just been going quick 3, extend the game, put DRS on the free throw line, extend the game as opposed to. But here, look. From my vantage point here, that looked like a bad call.
Dovi, clock is stopped again for 3 more foul shots now. Hits 1. That's
Norman,
3 in a row.
Norman, you're talking about a potential here of 5 points with no 1 second off the clock.
Yeah, totally unnecessary. Also, Joe Aaron had the ball on the other end. He turned it over with that weak pass. And now you have 4 straight converted foul shots by TABC.
Moshe Cohn's got to be seething inside. It just has to be seething.
He looks cool as a fan also. Go figure.
TABC's got to foul here off the mid. Got to foul quick. You got to put DRS on the free throw line immediately.
All 5 foul shots made by TABC. It's a 3-point game. They're saying let's play defense and we have a 1-possession game. Spodek gets it to Aaron.
There's about a 7-second differential, 8-second differential.
Kaiser guarding Aaron. Aaron gives it to Slownicki. Back to Aaron. 22 remains in the game. Aaron, he's fouled!
See, what ends up happening now, Norman, is with the 7-7. It looks like that's 5 on Kaiser, if I'm not mistaken. What happens now is you end up taking 10 precious seconds off the clock and putting the guy on the free throw line anyway, which you could have done at 45 or 43 seconds left. I know you're saying to yourself it's a 1-possession game. My feeling is extend the game as much as possible.
Sammy Levine will check in the game for the first time for TABC. Their second player has fouled out. Ben-Sion Kaiser has now fouled out. He joins Akiva Borgen. It's a 3-point game. TABC just scored 5 points from the foul line, like Dovey said, with 1 second coming off the clock to get back in this game. Norman, it was 63-55 a second ago.
Norman, you're number 5, Sammy Levine. This is what legends are made of. You have not stepped on the court for this entire game, and now you're put in this absolutely pressure-packed situation. And mind you, pressure is a privilege, which I tell all my players. And you're going to be asked to do things.
Oh, that rattled in.
Conley knocks down a free throw, Norman. By the way, how about the 5 free throws by TABC? Swish,
unbelievable.
Swish, swish, swish.
Unbelievable, but Joe Aaron answers with one of his own. And he gets another one, that beautiful backspin on the foul shot. Okay, Mandel's got to inbound it. He gets it back, 65-60.
Quick 2 and extend the game.
Sachs, he's going to curl around.
Quick 2 and extend the game.
Kick it out, and it goes off of TABC.
TABC looking for the 3. I go for the quick 2 and extend the game. Now, obviously, it goes without saying, Norman. Got to foul immediately. 10 seconds left.
The ball was deflected by DRS, and then it went off of TABC. Slomnicki looking for an inbounder, and he is fouled immediately by Kinderlehrer, who now has 4.
I think that's 5 on Kinderlehrer.
Oh, man.
And he probably got away with an intentional foul on that. You got to make a play for the ball. It looks like Eyal is, yes, on the screen. That's number 5 on Eyal. Tough to overcome the Borgen foul out. Tough to overcome the Borgen and Kaiser foul out. Incredibly tough to overcome the Borgen, Kaiser, and Kinderlehrer foul out with a 5-point lead. 9 seconds left, and Bennett shooting 2.
Notice Dovey, forever the professional, won't say impossible, but he's basically saying that. TABC amazingly never took the lead. They never once took the lead. They fought so hard. They may have led 3-0, but they battled so hard to get back in this game. Every single time you tried to knocking them out. They stayed in it. Bennett misses the first.
It's Yitz Bennett, who's son of Naftali Bennett. Nice basketball family as well. Bunch of kids who went to DRS and played ball there. Listen, it's very tough to overcome these deficits when you go 16-point deficits twice. Right, you get there, you kick it, you cut it to 1, you get it to 9, you tie it up again, you get it to 8 again, and then you go. Those take a lot out of a team.
You empty the tank. You empty the tank every time. You only have so many timeouts. You only have so many breaks. It was actually a game with not too many whistles, so not too many stoppages for the players.
DRS 8 for 14 from the line today. We spoke about I know it's not going to matter. I mean, potentially not going to matter. It's still, listen, it's still a 6-point game. Still 2-possession game with 9 seconds left. So you obviously, at this point, it's a quick 3 and a foul, right? You look for foul and put DRS on the line.
3 foul, yeah.
DRS is 8 for 14 from the line. Aaron's 6 for 12. So free throws almost on the DRS side, keeping TABC in the game. TABC hitting their free throws, keeping them in the game, and making some silly mistakes on the DRS side. But Moshe Cohn really keeping his team fully under control here. Really a good job. DRS smelling it a little bit. It's still not over, Norman. We've seen too many games. You've been around this league way too much.
Dovey, 14 for 14 TABC from the foul line today.
There you go.
That's what's keeping them in this game.
It's not cool to shoot free throws, but it wins championships, Norman, but it's not cool.
It only wins championships, that's it, you're right. But 14 for 14 has kept them in this game despite that very slow start.
Surprised TABC not rolling the ball. Way too much time getting this off.
Yeah, here's a 3.
By the way, DRS they don't have to inbound the ball.
Well, Sammy Levine did hit that 3 that you said
you got 5 seconds, you can inbound the ball.
DRS manages to weather the storm, 66-63. They are the 2025 champions of the MYHSAL. What a ball game here at Yeshiva University. They never, ever, ever gave TABC the lead. It's unbelievable. They let TABC tie it. They went into overtime. TABC kept clawing back, but couldn't get over the hump. DRS wouldn't relinquish it, and credit them for a very well-played game beginning to end. They're the champions.
They are the champions. We're not going to know who the MVP is. It's anyone's guess. I mean, I'm kind of being a little facetious. DRS, their first championships, 2015-2016. Okay, so kudos to a wonderful person, a wonderful coach, and a really menschlich person. Kudos to Moshe Cohn and the job he's done from beginning to end in this season. They were the preseason favorite.
Yeah.
And Norman, you know very well, it's not easy to be the preseason favorite. It's not easy to maintain that high level of intensity throughout the entire season. Moshe Cohn led this team, coached this team, and you saw it today how every time TABC came back, like you said, Norman, they never got over that hump. Moshe Cohn kept them under control, so congratulations to them. Congratulations to the DRS Wildcats, their 3rd championship in the Yeshiva League.
Unbelievable.
Right, meaning basketball varsity, and I think they won both hockey championships, so 3 in the last week.
Oh, wow. Also their 3rd varsity boys basketball championship. They won, this is their 3rd in like only 12 or 13 years. What a program they're building. Like you said, Moshe Cohen, when the game got tight, we kept looking at him. Even when the players did some things that are not so smart, a foolish foul here or there, he managed to stay calm and cool, pulled the right timeouts, made the right adjustments, and there he is, Coach Moshe Cohen, hoisting the trophy, handing it off to his players. What an incredible game. It just seemed like this game was not, sometimes you have a sense of where the game is going to go. This game, you had no sense that this was going into overtime. It seemed like it was all DRS.
No, and that's a credit to the TABC team. That's a credit to their coaching staff. I mean, we spoke about Moshe Cohen and what a great coach. I mean, Oz Cross, hands down, is the best coach in this league. Hands down. Spike, Moshe, and Oz. I mean, these guys he is an absolutely amazing coach. You know, it kept his team in this league. DRS had a little bit more talent, you would say. Coached them, never let this team give up. We spoke about the 16-3 start and the lack of converting the shots in the beginning of the game. Oz just kept keeping them under control, kept having them focused. just an absolute great coach, running a great program.
Joe Aaron took the ball in his hands when his team needed him to, kept getting those N1s, those traditional three-point plays. For all you traditionalists out there, how many times did Joe Aaron drive to the hole? I don't even know if he hoisted any three-pointers late in this game. He kept driving. Sometimes he got fouled, sometimes he didn't, but he was relentless going to the hole. He left the three-point shooting to his friend Zevi, who hit 3 of them for the game. I think he's the only one on DRS that hit a 3. Yeah, he is. And just Joe Aaron really completely taking control of the game. If they were going to lose or they were going to win, it was going to be through his hands. And they almost lost because of him. He had that turnover at the end.
But by the way, when you're a great player, that's okay. All right, you're not going to make every game-winning shot like you did against Magan.
Right.
The ball just has to be in your hand at that point. If he makes a turnover, he misses a shot, that's okay. But you cannot not allow him to have the ball in his hands at the most important time. And kudos to the DRS team, not only the coaching staff but the players, to recognize the ball needs to be in his hand.
Yeah, because you can't. If you're on defense, you can't overly focus on him either, because if you overly focus on Joe Aaron, Zevi is going to drop 30 on you, like we've seen throughout this year. That's been the development of this team. This is what Moshe Cohen was talking about, that a lot of teams have a great player like that, but this team has the supporters to help him be great. That way, everyone has to stay honest on their defenders, and then you let Joe Aaron do what he needs to do, which was step up in the biggest moments of this game.
DRS showed their depth. DRS showed their talent. It goes beyond Joe. It goes beyond Joe Aaron. Like you said, there's Sahidi, there's Solomon. There's just a bunch of players. But just an overall from when this game started to when this game ended. I mean, we got lucky again, Norman, and it was an absolute pleasure doing this with you.
Yes, it was. It always is to do it with you. Yitz Bennett, great defense early on Kindlera. He was getting Kindlera a little frustrated, but then in overtime, he scored 5 of his 9 points. Yitz Bennett became the offensive player for DRS. Michael Solomon, we mentioned it a few times, hit the floor at least a dozen times. He's always on the floor, this kid. He's not afraid to, bruise his body, scrape a knee, whatever it is. If that ball's on the floor, he's going to get it. And how important is that for any championship team? Yes, Joe Aaron will get the headlights, and Zevi will get all the fame and everything. But Michael Solomon on the floor throughout the game and a bunch of rebounds, great player.
As they announced Joe Aaron as the MVP, no big shock there. But to your Michael Solomon point, I'm going to date myself a little bit. He's a Charles Oakley to your team. He does everything right. Nothing flashy, but just does everything right. Knows how to use his body, both on the offensive end and on the defensive end. Gets every offensive rebound. Knows how to track the ball. Can knock down the open shot when they overplay the back screens on the back doors. Just, can go to a free throw line and knock down free throws when needed. Can knock down a mid-range jumper. Everything right, nothing flashy. A guy you need on a team to win a championship.
It's a good call because Oakley loved that 15-foot jumper also, was a very good foul shooter for a guy his size and his frame. And Yitz Bennett, like I said, 5 points in overtime. I mean, that's a jolt for any team. I'd love to get Joe Aaron up here if we
Looks
can.
like he's coming up here.
MVP wearing number 42. All smiles for Joe Aaron. Here he comes up with the trophy. What are we giving him? The microphone, the headset? How do we do this? Come right over here. Come around. Okay, we are here with, first of all, champion Joe Aaron.
Thank you.
And MVP Joe Aaron. Let me ask you the basic first. You had the ball with 3 seconds left, and all of a sudden a turnover. What went through your head at that very moment?
Giving me a little.
Interrupt this for a second. Us three owe a really big shout out to say the name. Say the name.
To Yehuda Cohen.
That's right, baby. Every day, whenever we needed, he opened up his court, and we balled, and we worked on our game, and that's why we're here. He's a big part of this win, and he's watching right now. I hope you know that. We love you. This is for you also. Let's go, baby. DRS.
A little deja vu from last game.
Yeah.
Same spot. and I just tripped.
Yeah, we were talking about it. We were
Yeah.
saying how what you were doing over there, and you read the screen against Mag and David. You went the other way, but the ball, regardless of if you turn the ball over or if you hit the shot, the ball has to be in your hands at the end of the game. Listen, I knew your father. You're wearing the number 42. You come from a great basketball family. Your mother too. So what does this mean to you? What does this mean to the Aaron family, to the Lazar family? It must be something special, right?
This is great. I mean, I've waited a long time for this, and this is just so special to celebrate with everyone. My dad, my parents, everyone, and just DRS in general. We
So
won
Miss-
3 championships this year. It's unbelievable, man.
To Mr. Sahidi here, I know your uncle very well, Yaniv. Great Sahidi family of basketball. What is Coach Moshe telling you guys at the timeout as every time you go up 16, they come back, they cut it to 1. Next thing you know, you go up 10, they cut it to 2. Next thing you know, it's 55, you're going into overtime. What's he telling you guys in the huddle?
Really just stay under control. Really just stay under control, go through the plays, mainly to stay calm, and make the right decision.
You guys made the right decision every time. You and Joe, both times, you had an answer every single time. It's not easy being the number 1 team, the preseason favorite. I was telling Norman before, in the beginning of the season, throughout that whole year. So Moshe guys kept you level-headed. But take us through the entire season a little bit and saying we're the team to beat. We're the best team in the league, clearly from the beginning of the season until now. How do you guys stay focused that entire season?
Just train all year. Stay training.
We've been working for this all year, and we showed up when it was time, and we deserved it, and we played for it. We played our hearts out. Everyone did their job. It was just a great win.
Great job.
It really was a great win. It was 16-3 at the end of the first quarter. 16-3. Did you guys think this was going to be easy? Are you shocked that this game went into overtime?
I thought we were going to pull away. It didn't get much closer. Had to fight through. It was a great win.
Everyone in the crowd felt like, oh, wow, this is now a 13-point game, a 15-point game at one point. TABC kept coming back, but did you notice you never gave them the lead again in that whole second half in overtime?
Yeah, TABC, they're a great team. Played them in Memphis also. They jumped back in, but we just held composure, and we stuck it out.
Joe, you had 24. Zvi, you had 21. Sorry,
wow.
Norman. 24, 21. I mean, clearly the 2 best players on the team, they focused on you, but you guys were able to get your sets run, your shots at when you needed to. Tell me a little bit about how you guys were able to run your sets so effectively. Is that hard work? Your sets. You got your points when they were focusing on both of you. Is that just practice after practice and going over all your sets and plays?
It's great to have 2 players, so I can't just focus on one. Whenever they focus on one, the other one can do well. Whenever they focus on one, the other one can also do well.
And we just played together. We've been playing together for 4 years. We've been doing the same thing. We've been running that 2-man, and we just played together, and we were ready for this.
I was talking to Coach Moshe Cohen. He said exactly what you just said. If they overly focus on Joe, watch Zaidi score 30 points. You can't do that. You got to stay honest. And how about a guy like Michael Solomon? He got a huge amount of rebounds. Great game on the floor. He only had 8 points, but I think he had like 12 loose balls, that he recovered. And Yitz Bennett, great defense on Eyal Kindelera early, 9 points, 5 of them in OT for Yitz. Just a great team win. Like Dovid said, 45 of the 66 points right here. So you guys led the scoring. But between the defense, the rebounding, the ball movement, this is a full team game.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Well, we've kept you guys long enough. Go celebrate with your teammates and your family. You guys enjoyed it. Great season.
Dovid,
good job, guys.
For seniors to win it, it's so special. For seniors, they hold on to this for the rest of their lives. It's really, really, really a special moment. I'd love to see if we get Moshe here for a minute. I know he wants to talk to his team, but I'd love to get the championship interview with Moshe Cohen if we can. They're taking their championship photo at half court. We're going to let them do that as our what a great job Max Lives does here, Dovid. He's going to try to get Moshe Cohen in the green sweater. I believe he's wearing that Israel necklace for the hostages.
Best dresser in the league. Best dressed coach.
He's taking the pictures. What a game. Dovid, what a game 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
2 overtimes in a row, Yeshiva League varsity.
We've been very lucky. We've been very, very lucky.
You know what it is? I was talking to Moshe, and he's still talking about his Hafter championship from 23 years ago. This stays with you for life. My championship from the year 2000, 25 years ago, I'm still in a chat with those bozos. I'm still talking to them about these games.
And by the way, as a coach, imagine how much more. I mean, you agonize as a coach over wins, and you agonize over losses.
Here he is, Coach Moshe Cohen, championship coach. All right, champ. I mean, Dovid was talking a lot about how much a coach agonizes over every play in this game. When this game was 16-3, I gave it a big fat 0% chance that this is going into overtime.
So I think I told you, our games end up close. All our games end up close. I don't know what it is, but we make them games. And I thought 22-5, I was like, okay, this is the game where it's finally going to be. And they hit their shots. They hit their shots, TABC. It was a great game. But
Let's go! Coach of the year right here. Coach of the year.
You know, 22-5, that's a great call. We're talking, I'm getting text 22-5, this game's over before it started. And, you know, they cut it to 1. I spoke to Joe, Aaron, and Sahidi about this. Next thing you know, you go down, you're down 1. They cut it, you go up 10 again. They cut it to 2. Then you go up 10 again, and next thing you know, it's tied. What are you telling your team in these huddles? How are you keeping them composed?
we said it from the beginning, just play straight through. Don't lose composure, play it like any game. Don't let the moment get too big. And these guys, we never went down. They never backed off. I give them full credit. To stay in a game like this is a tough game, and it would have been easy to fall apart there in the fourth quarter, but they held their own, and every time they made a big play, we came back and hit the shot we had to or got a stop.
Yeah,
so that's what it came down to.
They didn't, but you give them credit. But you know what? That's a lot of coaching also. That's coaching from the beginning. That's coaching in September.
That's our way. That's
on
our
a
way.
Tuesday night
we
in the
try
gym.
to stay composed at all times. Doesn't matter the score, just play our game, and we've done it all year. All year we played in big games, and we've been ready.
Dovid was insistent with 29.6 left. He was going to jump out of the bleachers. He said, this ball better be in Joe Aaron's hands, and it was. But then with under 3 seconds, he slipped, and the ball went out of bounds.
And he had slipped right before, a very similar play like a minute before. So it happened twice, and, you know, it's a game. It's basketball, right?
But as a coach, you don't care. You want the ball in your best player's hands. You don't care.
We put it in the best hands,
yeah.
and we win and die like that, right? You win and lose
Exactly.
with your best, and
Exactly.
you got to be okay with it. You know, like you have to be okay with the shots. And I thought all game we took good shots. We missed some, but you have to be okay with it.
What I thought was masterful coaching was when they come back, Mandel hits the big 3. You have the last possession. You don't get it. You guys win the tip. Next thing you know, boom, 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 boom. It's an 8-0 run. Right. That, to me, is coaching. That, to me, is keeping that team focused. That, to me, is running your sets. That, to me, is knowing who your best player and where the ball should be. So, great job by you.
We didn't want to settle in overtime. We said take it to the hole. They had guys in foul trouble. Borgen was on his way out, or might have been fouled out right before that. Eyal had 4. Kaiser, we were like, take it in. Stop settling. Stop settling. So.
You were talking about your Hafter championship from 23 years ago like it happened yesterday. This one's as a head coach. I mean, they're both unbelievable, but as a coach, you agonize much more than as a kid. Like, how does this feel as a coach? Like Dovid mentioned, the Tuesday nights in the gym, the phone calls, the parents, the principals, all the nonsense,
It's
the
a lot of
road
work.
trips, the bus trips. How does it feel now? You're wet from the water that the kids threw on you, that you're a champ.
You could say it. It feels better as a coach. It feels better as a coach.
It feels better as a coach.
Wow.
It's different. It's different. You know what? As a player, and we won at the buzzer 22 years ago here, 23 years ago, and I don't remember ever that game getting so intense for me, because when you're playing, you just know what to do. As a coach, your mind's racing, everything's going, and it's just like keep the guys calm, stay calm. But it feels so good to be running this with this team, and I've coached these guys for 4 years, these seniors, and to come out at the end like this is awesome.
Moshe, I was so impressed how you were able to stay calm during the big TABC runs, and then during the breakaway foul where and then the foul on the three-pointer where they basically scored 5 points with 1 second coming off the clock. I looked over. We know there's smoke coming out of your ears, but you look cool as a fan, as I said. I couldn't believe it.
That Slumnicki foul there, you must have been seething.
Oh, man. That's a tough one. But you know what? If I'm going to expect them to stay calm, it's got to be from the top down.
Right.
And we work so hard in never letting the game take a hold of us. And that's what it's about. You know, these guys know how to play. They know how to play, and sometimes you just have to step back and just let them play at times because they know what to do.
Incredible game, incredible job all season for a few years now. Just DRS I mean, I'm still amazed from where this game went. I got to be honest. That's the beauty of sports, you know? That's the beauty of sports. At end of the first quarter, no one's giving this game a chance. They take you to overtime, but like a true champion, the DRS Wildcats refuse to give up the lead, refuse to let the TABC Storm change the destiny of this game, and they hold on and they're victorious. And who wants
Sarachek, here we come. We're ready for Sarachek now. We're moving forward. We'll enjoy this for a minute, but on to Sarachek.
Spoken like a true
I want
coach.
Sarachek. I want Sarachek. We want Eula in Sarachek.
It's crazy. As a coach, you could just never celebrate. It's crazy, right?
No,
you can't.
no.
You
On to the
agonize
next,
over
on
the
to the
defeats. You agonize over the wins. You just won the championship. You earned it. Go celebrate with your family.
Go
you really,
celebrate.
I hope Shalhevet's not listening and be like, we want Shalhevet too. We're Shalhevet and Eula.
But Moshe's already on to he's already on to Sarachek. Listen, I'm really proud of you. Full disclosure, he's my brother-in-law. I love him to death. He's a great coach.
25 guys, TABC, DRS, right here. Zoom in on this. Zoom in on this. Zoom in on this. These are the boys. Watch party. TABC, DRS.
Michael,
showing out.
Come over here a second. I know you're very shy, I can tell. Coach, congratulations. Come, sit. All right, Mike. I see you're very shy and you don't want to be on the camera. What's going on? Why weren't these guys in Yeshiva University today? That's my first question. Talking to the mic.
They are in the Holy Land right now.
Oh, nice.
Growing, maturing, and supporting their boys.
So these are
supporting their
graduates.
schools.
These guys are older than you.
Graduates, alumni. These are guys that did this themselves. Some of them had tough losses.
Your brother?
Championship. Yeah, this guy right here.
This is what it's all about. Kids talk about this stuff forever. They never forget it.
Do you realize? I know you're a fun guy and you're the life of the party, clearly, and everything. Do you realize how huge this is for your life that you have the Yeshiva League Championship as a seat?
All my friends.
Yeah.
I get to brag to my brother. I got one over him. That's huge.
Yeah.
But also, no, he actually has one. JV. The Solomon's hung 3 banners in DRS. My dad is a coach. This guy, coach champion JV, COVID, and now we got one right now. That's 3 banners.
I got to say, Michael, I love the way you play. There's a loose ball. You don't care where it is. You're going head first. It looked like you were diving into a swimming pool at some point. Head first on the ground for the loose ball, the rebounds, a couple of timely buckets. I think you ended with 8 points. Just a great all-around game. You can't win a championship with only scorers. You need guys like you on the team like that also, and you played a great game. You chipped in over here.
Thank you.
Yeah, we spoke about it before. We spoke about it during the game. The Solomon family is just a family of hard-nosed, does everything right. But you, your brother, I remember coaching against. I mean, you were clearly a major factor in this championship, and
so much.
really proud of you guys.
Okay, well, there you have it, Michael Solomon. Thanks for joining us.
Let's go.
Watch the Wires.
Watch the wire.
Yep.
Don't kill yourself.
All right, Dove. I think we said it all, Dovey. A great game by both teams. TABC a little slow out of the gate, but they made it an unbelievable game. And just great for all the fans, great for the school. Congratulations to TABC. This is actually their first finals appearance. And congratulations to DRS, their 3rd championship in the last 12 or 13 years.
Norman, before I thank you, because it's always a pleasure, I want to just thank this entire Max Live crew. A thank you to Seth Gordon for allowing me not only to do this, but to do this with you, who I love doing it with.
Thank you, Doug.
But the Max Live crew, these guys are great. Maybe we can get a spot on Sarachek.
Maybe.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
I think we did a good job the last couple of years. I think our audition was pretty good. But Dovey, you bring so much to the telecast because you're always thinking like a coach. You know how many fouls are on each guy. You know what to do in certain situations. You know if the guy can run out of bounds under the baseline. That's huge. It's a pleasure to do it with you. Thank you so much. And for DRS and TABC and the entire Yeshiva League, for Dovey Foreman, I'm Norman Jamal, and we will see you guys next year. Great job, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, and we'll see you next year.